This is the third video in this series looking at the open circuit technical diver training progression. Third, yes, and finally, we're going to go past recreational limits and get into deco. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Divers Ready. My name's James. As always, so great to see all of your smiling faces. I hope you're all doing really well. If you're new to our channel, make your next dive on that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon. It really helps us out to keep making these videos for you with one simple goal in mind, which is to help make you a better scuba diver. We are back with the third video in this series, looking at the training progression of the open circuit technical diver. I am currently teaching TDI programs, so the standards I mention here refer to those specific courses. Lots of people in the comment section from the past two videos in this series asking about PADI Tech, SSI Tech training, RAID Tech training. I don't know. I don't teach those programs. I would highly recommend you reach out to your local instructor so that they know the standards and they can give you the most accurate information. Now, Intro to Tech, not a technical diver course, as we discussed. Advanced nitrox does not extend your diving limits in the water in any particular way. And now, finally, decompression procedures. We're going to start talking about decompression. You know, technical diving. In this video, as with every video in this mini-series, we are going to cover the following points. We're going to give an overview and the objectives of the decompression procedures course. What can you expect to learn? The prerequisites and qualifications of people taking this course and who this course is actually designed for. Let's kick it off with the overview and objectives. Decompression procedures is the foundational level training for any technical diver. It gives you the basic information that no matter where you want to take your diving, whether it's wreck or cave or rebreather, it allows you to conduct technical dives beyond the no decompression limit, specifically how to plan, equip for, and execute dives beyond established recreational limits. Going into deco on a dive is never an accident. It is always a planned event. I spend about half a day with each of my decompression procedure students just on dive planning. We focus a lot on equipment configuration and optimization. We select gases, both mixes and volumes, based on the diving environment and the student's needs. And we focus on emergency procedures, contingency planning, and redundancy in the event that something goes wrong on a dive where we no longer have direct access to the surface due to our decompression obligation. There are a ton of in-water skills, most of which will be repeated ad nauseum until fluid muscle memory has been achieved. You will be comfortable carrying a single stage bottle, both attaching it to yourself and detaching it out of the water, in the water, which is going to be new to most students. And after training, after this technical diver boot camp of a course, you will have the confidence and skills to plan and execute technical dives with a buddy of the same skill level as yourself to a maximum depth of 45 meters or 150 feet. James, I want to be a tech diver. I want to be a tech diver. What are the prerequisites and qualifications? In other words, what do you need to start the training and what will you get out of it? As with all technical diver training, there are the agency's prerequisites and there are your instructor's prerequisites. And if the instructor is good, their prerequisites will be a lot more stringent than the agency's requirements because it's their name on your C card and their liability on the line. And a good example of that is the difference between TDI's prerequisites for the course and my prerequisites for decompression procedures. So the agency's prerequisites for decompression procedures are, at the time of filming this, very simple. You need to be 18 years old, you need to be an advanced level recreational diver certificate, that's it, and you need proof of 25 logged open water dives. Ridiculously low, absolutely not. I mean, yes, you need those things minimum, and in my personal prerequisites, on top of everything that TDI wants, you also need, 50 logged dives minimum. I need to know that you love diving and it's something you do regularly. I will also ask you how often you dive. I don't want you to have done 50 dives in the last 20 years. That's not going to work out very well. You need experience diving deep at least 20 dives should be between sort of 30 to 40 meters or 100 to 130 feet, and preferably with a deep diver certification specialty. You also need to have nitrox, and if you haven't already completed advanced nitrox, then I will expect you to take advanced nitrox course concurrently with decompression procedures, which is something that TDI allows you to do. Like I said, your instructor is going to have their own personal prerequisites for their students, which are largely based off of their personal teaching experience and the environment in which they teach. All of that to say, don't go to the agency's website, look at the list of, oh, I've got to be 18 years old and 25 dives and da-da-da, and presume that you're pre-qualified or you're going to be accepted onto the course, because you might not be, and that's okay. Keep working. So who should take a decompression procedures course? Well, we made a whole separate video on how to tell if you're ready to learn technical diving, which I will link up above there. But for supplementary information, here is a good question to ask yourself. What is currently limiting my recreational dives? If the answer is your gas consumption, you're just blowing through your tank and that's causing you to thumb the dive and go up, I would advise you to work on reducing your sack rate before attempting tech diving. And by the way, we've also made a video about that, and I'll link it up above there. It's so nice, can I just say, to have this library of videos that I can now refer back on and link to and send people. It really makes my life very, very easy. I'm very happy about the body of work we've already put out. Just saying. Yay, me! But if you're finding that you're hitting your NDL and you still have tons of gas left and could potentially have dived longer, it's a good indicator that you're ready for technical diving and that you'll actually benefit from that training. And yes, obviously for technical dives, we are carrying more gas, more volumes of gas than a single cylinder. But you also need to prepare to have a much larger gas reserve, so sack rate is still very, very important. Decompression diving isn't about removing all limits, breaking all rules you learned at recreational level and diving without a care because, hey, you can go past your NDL now, so it doesn't matter. Quite the opposite. You actually need much more discipline for technical diving than you do for recreational diving. So, a decompression diver doesn't giant stride off the back of the boat at the start of a dive with their fingers crossed. That is not an effective risk management strategy, and there is definitely a lot of shift in your psyche when you're preparing for a deco dive as opposed to a recreational dive. Decompression diving is also best suited for people who have a good grasp of the maths and science of diving. You need to be capable of visualizing at different stages of a decompression dive what is happening to the tissues inside your body. If, like me, mathematics does not come easy to you, it would behoove you to brush up on your formulas, Boyle, Dalton, all that good stuff before starting your decompression training, because it's going to make things a hell of a lot easier for you. And obviously, you need complete mastery of the 4 fundamentals of scuba diving: buoyancy, trim, propulsion, and breathing. Anything less than excellent skills at this level, and you're going to hurt yourself. There's no way around that. Next up in this series, we're going to be adding helium to our mixes as we dive into the Trimix course. So subscribe if you haven't already done that, because you're not going to want to miss it. Let me know in the comments below if you've taken decompression procedures training, what did you think about it, and what do you use that training to do? I love hearing the stories of your guys' dive. I really appreciate all the interaction. Thanks as always so much for watching. My name's James. This was your video for this week from Divers Ready. Dive safe, dive often.